Hey team, hey girls, I'm so excited to have you here today. I'm not just excited, I'm also really grateful and I'm very proud. I'm very proud of you because you made this decision today to turn on this video or to just listen to what I'm saying. So you're watching, you're listening because you want to learn and you want to grow as a person. Today's video is about how you can heal and grow into the strongest version of yourself. And I think we all have a story, we all have a past, we all have something that we have to heal from, every one of us. And the reason why this topic is so present in my life lately is because last week I shared a very personal story online. I shared something that I was so afraid to share. I was so scared because I don't know why. It was just very, very scary. Especially to open up to my parents, to open up to friends, to open up to the world. I felt ashamed, which is crazy because no one should ever feel ashamed of that. But to give you a little context about the story, in case you haven't seen it, when I was 12, when I was a teenager, I got sexually abused. It went beyond that. It got recorded. It got sent to the whole class, so everyone could listen to the sounds I was making, and it got commented on a lot, and not just on this video, but also I got a lot of comments about my body. The way you have to imagine it, I was very young, and I think this one sentence did so much more harm than anything else. It was this guy saying that my vagina, like a beautiful part of my body, but he was commenting on it. He said that it's just so tight, and he said it in a really, really bad way. And every single time when I'm like sharing that, it does something with me because this one sentence had such a big impact on me. Even as an adult, I'm 30 years old now, but I struggled when I reflect on the last years. I struggled so much with my body because the moment when he said that, I felt so bad, and it was day one to me that I started to hate my body. I started to hate what I see. I started to hate looking into the mirror, and I just started to hate my body, and I started to lose a lot of weight. I started to stop eating. I started to doing a ridiculous amount of exercise just because I hated myself, and I was so lost. I was so in pain. I just want to share that story with you because if something like that happens in your past, it has a crazy amount of influence on you when you are an adult. And throughout your whole entire life, these stories have a big, big, big impact. I want you to listen today, or I want you to watch today, and also having this aha moment, because we all have our own unique stories. We all have our own unique journey, and we all have things that happened in the past. Maybe something similar happened to you. Then first of all, I want you to know that you are not alone. This happens to so many girls out there. This happens to so many women, it's so sad, and it makes me so sad. But also I quickly want to mention that this is not just something that happens to women or girls. My mom called me yesterday that her English teacher, she's going to English school right now, her English teacher called her that she has seen the video, and that other people that she knows watched the video, and that they also know cases, but also cases of young boys, young men, that they also have struggles and that they also have experienced things like that, like sexual abuse. And it just blows my mind. And this video shouldn't be about this, only about this, but I just want to share that it's so important that you have the courage to speak up and share your story and talk about it, and never ever feel alone. Don't feel alone, because you are not. There are also so many other things that happen when we are young, like things that happen way too often. It doesn't have to be sexual abuse, but there are so many other ways of abusing someone, like mobbing. This is something that makes me so angry when I see that. I had been in this train a couple of months ago, and it was like a school class coming out of school, and they were all sitting in the train next to me. They probably just went home, and I've seen that they were mobbing this one guy. They were saying really mean things, and they would even throw stuff at him. And when I see something like that, I feel so angry. I get really angry, and it really gets me. And as an example, that's something I would like to do in future. I would love to go to schools and just be there and open up the eyes of these kids of like, don't do that. Don't pull someone down, because why would you do that? I think if someone says really mean things to someone else, it's because they're coming from a place with a lot of insecurity and a lot of weakness. Like the cool kids who are actually pulling others down, who are mobbing others, these are the ones who have the biggest insecurities. And these are the actual weak ones. And this is so important for me, especially to like speak to young teenagers, but not just for teenagers. I think even in adult life, in big offices, things like that happen. And it's important to bring awareness to those kind of topics, because if you pull someone down, if you say something mean to someone else, if you are part of mobbing, like if you do that, then I'm really sorry for you, because it shows just how insecure and how weak you are. So don't do that. Don't do that, because no, we want to be strong. We want to be strong people supporting other people and helping other people to grow. And that's the kind of community I want to have here. I want to have strong women here. Strong women supporting other women and supporting other people. Last but not least here on this topic, because also it happens way too many times, is everything that not just happens offline, verbally and emotionally, you can harm someone else, like in the offline world, but you can also do this in the online world. And I think it got like quite out of control with stuff like TikTok, stuff like Instagram. You film someone in a really awkward moment, you post it online, it gets viral, it gets 1,000 views, it gets 1,000 comments, really mean and bad comments. It's terrible. It's really terrible. And I think especially in the internet, or on the internet, people are so mean and so rude because they think, anyways, no one knows who I am. I'm like anonymous. But it's so bad. Just don't do that. And if you see something like that online, if you see something like that happen, try to help. Maybe there is a way. Maybe you can report it. Report it. Like all these platforms have something where you can report something. If you see that, please do it. And if you are in school, then I would love to see you standing up for someone and talking to teachers or talking to your parents what you can do. Like I would love that you are one of the strong people now and standing up for others. Our past really shapes us. So things that happen in school, but also things that happen within our family. I think especially when it comes to our parents really shape us. And I quickly want to share a little bit more about how I grew up and what I think has shaped me a lot. So my parents split up when I was also around that age, 12, 13, or maybe 11. Anyways, they split up, and I want to mention here that I love my parents. I love them so much. I love my dad. I love my mom. And I think they are wonderful people, but of course they are also just human beings, and they made a lot of mistakes. And that's okay. I'm sure if I would have children, I would also make a lot of mistakes. But my parents split up, and I first had a relationship with my dad. So I was living with my mom, my dad moved out, and I first had a relationship with my dad and contact, but then it got less and less. And then sometimes I wouldn't have a relationship with my dad. But what I've been learning about myself, about all of this, is that when they split up, like it did something to me. I'm honest, today I really struggle to build a relationship. I really struggle to connect with someone on a deeper level. And I want to be honest here, I'm single for a decade. I'm single for like 10 years now, which is crazy. And I think a lot of people right now would say, what, you were single like for 10 years? Huh? Like they would judge me kind of. And also one thing that I really want to create here is a judge-free zone. I could judge myself. I could be like, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me that I'm single for 10 years? Like, am I not looking good enough? Am I not pretty smart, whatever enough? I could judge myself, but I'm not. I'm like, okay, maybe there is a deeper reason why it's so hard for me to connect with someone on a deeper level and to trust someone so much, or to also let go of this, like I want to be by myself, I want to be alone, I can do anything alone and just connect with someone. But yeah, it's really, really hard for me. And I'm learning so much about psychology. I'm learning so much about how I grew up, about my past, about things that happened, about how my parents raised me. And I think looking back and reflecting on everything, yeah, maybe I grew up in an environment where it was so cool to see that my mom can do anything by herself. and that she doesn't need anyone, and that she's an independent woman, which I also really, really love. But I think seeing that and hearing that and over again, and seeing how they split up and everything that was just going on, I think it had a big impact on how I struggle today with relationships. And maybe you can relate. Maybe also your parents split up when you were younger. And maybe you see like the way your parents were to each other, maybe you can see that exactly in your relationships today. To me, it had been a big aha moment of like, damn, yeah, this is why I am the way I am. This is why I think the way I think, because things in the past happened. And I want the same for you. I don't want you to judge yourself, and I don't want you to judge anyone else, because everyone has their own story and everyone has their own past, and it shaped them. It shaped them, it shaped you, it shaped me. I really want you to understand why sometimes you feel certain things. As an example, jealousy. That's something I struggle with, like many, many times throughout the year, if I'm honest. It got better. But when I think of like the last years, that was something that was driving me crazy. I would be so jealous. I would be so jealous of other people, especially when I liked someone a lot. And when I then saw them having more fun with others, having other friends, which they feel way closer with. And I always felt like, oh my God, like I felt this crazy, crazy anxiety and this crazy, I'm not good enough. I'm not the most important anymore. And then I would isolate myself, and I would kind of ghost this person, get really angry, and I would kind of like move myself away from it. But yeah, jealousy as an example. I want you just, if you have those feelings, jealousy or insecurities, or maybe you struggle with something like body dysmorphia or eating disorders, sometimes it's always like a deeper reason behind. And especially I quickly want to mention that because it's also so common. Body dysmorphia, eating disorders. Like, I'm coming from a background with fitness and sports, and I've had this past with like, I lost a lot of weight. I hated my body. I didn't eat proper. I was coming from this place, and it was because of this comment that I got on my body, on my damn young, beautiful body. This guy was commenting on something which was not okay, but it turned into something. So there was always a deeper reason. So if you struggle with something, I want you to invest the time in yourself to work on that, to get out of that, and to heal from it. So I invite you to, next time when you're struggling, instead of judging yourself, or instead of feeling super bad, instead of feeling lost and just out of control, then I want you to help yourself out and ask yourself the question, like, why? Why is this right now? Why am I not feeling good enough? Why do I feel that pressure? Why is it so hard for me to accept myself and love myself? Why do I want to work so hard even though I'm so exhausted? Why do I feel I'm not allowed to rest? Why? Ask yourself those questions. And I'm going to give you my steps and tips and advice later, but I already want to point it out. Finding the why, learning more about yourself and learning more about all those kind of things is so powerful. And if you don't know where to start, like, finding out the why takes some time. But I invite you to grab a piece of paper and grab a pen, sit down and write down, why am I feeling this way now? And trust me, it's not like that you sit down in one day and you figure everything out. Not at all. Finding out, like, after struggling so much with my body, after losing so much weight, after gaining weight again, and then hustling so much, feeling burned out throughout the years, never feeling good enough. You know how many years it took me now to go through that, work on that, learn more about that, getting help and accepting help. Like, it took years, and that's okay. And that's already like another advice that I want to give you throughout this whole entire video. Be patient with yourself. Healing takes time. And that's totally okay. That's totally fine. But you need to invest the time. It's going to be so worth it. Really, it's going to be so worth it. I hope you understand a bit better now that the trauma you have experienced as a child, as a teenager, like at one point in your life, I hope you understand how this is connected to your life now as an adult. You can feel it in different kind of situations. You can feel it when you get jealous. You can feel it when you have this constant pressure of not being good enough, like in all the things that we have spoken about. But also, did you know that sometimes it also shows in your body? Sometimes we have those moments when we feel really tired, when we feel really exhausted, when we feel just really down. Have you ever had those moments when you feel really down and you don't even know why? Your body is just sad and there is no light and it's just dark. And you wake up and you don't know why you wake up, and there is no purpose, there is no goal, there is no drive, no motivation. Do you know that kind of feeling? Maybe sometimes you even experience back pain on top of it, or something on your body like really hurts. The crazy thing with trauma is that sometimes it reflects on your body, like you can feel it. It drains energy. It drains energy out of your body, and it even gives you pain, which is mind-blowing to me. But sometimes I would have headache, or I would have a really stiff neck, and I would feel so uncomfortable. And that also could be not because you didn't sleep well, or not because you didn't exercise in a while. Sometimes it's also really just a mental thing. Like your body as a whole, you always need to see it as a whole, like a whole thing. It's your mind, it's you, physically, emotionally, mentally, like it's all one thing and it's all connected. And to me, sometimes that's crazy to also realize that, oh, maybe there's something, maybe I have to heal something inside to also heal myself on the outside. Guys, before I give you the 7 tips, before I come to the 7 steps that you can do to heal and grow into the strongest version of yourself, I quickly want to share 3 affirmations with you. Affirmations are really strong. Affirmations are great. In the morning when you feel like you need the power already in the first hour of your day, it's so cool if you just listen to an affirmation or if you say it out loud. Sometimes also throughout the day when you have one of those moments where everything just gets overwhelming and you feel lost. It's so cool if you just have an affirmation that you see or that you read, that you listen to, or that you say out loud. And I want to share a few affirmations with you that really helped me in the past, especially when I was struggling, and especially when I had that feeling of, damn, I have something that I have to heal from. And I want to share those affirmations with you. The first is, my feelings are valid, my pain is real, my healing matters. My feelings are valid, my pain is real, my healing matters. The second affirmation, I am not what happened to me. I am what I'm choosing to become. I am not what happened to me. I am what I'm choosing to become. And the last affirmation here, I am good enough, exactly as I am. I am good enough, exactly as I am. I hope these affirmations help you. I hope these affirmations help you feel better in moments when you really need it, when you really need to hear it. And quickly about I am not what happened to me. I am what I'm choosing to become. There is this really powerful word, choosing. And it's very present in my life lately because I'm thinking so much about choice, about choosing. I hope you know how powerful choices are, like the power of choice. I'm sure you have heard about it before. I hope you know that every single day, from the moment you wake up, you have a choice. We all have the choice. So there's person A waking up in the morning, grabbing her phone, scrolling on TikTok, scrolling on Instagram, comparing herself to others, feeling bad. This is person A. She has the exact same second one of her day as person B. Person B is not grabbing her phone the first hour in the day. You know what she does instead? She grabs a glass of water, drinks something, does something for her physical health. She takes care of herself. She starts wonderful into the day and she feels amazing. Person A doesn't feel amazing because she's kind of wasting her time. She made this choice of like she was choosing to grab her phone and compare her life to others. Both had the same choice in the morning, and you have the choice too. Every day, with everything in life, you have a choice. So choose wisely. Now when it comes to the 7 steps to heal, I want to start with the first one. I want to go straight into it. And this to me, let me tell you, this to me was a game changer. It was so powerful and it helped me so much to feel stronger, to feel more confident, and to feel like I'm healing, I'm growing, I'm getting stronger. And what I'm talking about is moving my body, especially strength training. Strength training made me so much stronger. It's this feeling of like you working with your muscles. You're growing the muscles. It makes you physically stronger, but also mentally. So everyone listening right now, you have to do some sort of movement. And for some, strength training works really great. For others, cardio training might work a little bit better, like running long distances. It really does something to also your brain. So not just to your body, but also your brain. You get stronger physically and mentally. And you guys, you know what I would have needed when 12-year-old me was abused by a guy who was just using her and using her body? You know what I would have needed? Strength. All I would have needed was a little bit of strength to stand up for myself and just say no, stop. And it hurts me so much that I just didn't say anything. Like, I didn't know what was going on. I was just kind of like freezing, and I was just too weak to say, hey, no, I'm in pain, stop, no. But I didn't. And I think this is one of the reasons why also all of this, everything that I'm doing right now, it's so important to me that I make women stronger. Every woman out there should be strong enough to say no and to speak up in situations like this. So I want everyone to be stronger, like grow the strength. And the best way to grow strength is training. It's moving your body. Moving your body has way more benefits, especially when you want to heal from something. You know, sometimes healing feels very hard, and you are in a very, very crazy place, in a very dark place, and it feels like there is no way out. But moving your body or training for something, working out, sometimes there's like this goal behind, like you want to physically grow strength, you want to get stronger, so you have this goal. Then you need a plan, you need structure, you need discipline, you need motivation, you need every single day those tiny little habits that you have to follow. So it comes with a lot of structure, and it gives you like a goal again and a vision again and a plan. And this can be really powerful as well, especially when you struggle with something so much and when it feels like there's just no way out. The second advice is a mindset tip. Like, we are so busy working on our bodies and growing strength and losing weight and just getting physically fit. But we sometimes forget the importance of mindset. The way that you speak to yourself is everything. And also the thing that we said before, knowing that every single day you have two choices, understanding that it's all happening in here, and that another person doesn't have another crazy advantage. Like, yes, of course, there are some people who might have more luck or another privilege whatsoever, but I want you to use your power and your story and your beautiful self. Don't compare yourself to anyone else, but every single day you can make the most out of that. You can make the most out of your life because you have the choices. And please be nicer to yourself. Speak nice to yourself. We had it before. Don't judge yourself. Don't judge yourself because you are the way you are, because everything that happened to you throughout this whole entire journey, throughout all the years, they shaped you. So don't judge yourself. You really have to change the way you think, guys. You have to work on your mindset. There are so many things that you can work on. Even a simple thing like, I can't do this. Change it to, I can learn that. Even changing something like, I am not smart enough, I'm not good enough. No, you are. You can learn anything in this world. Which leads me to advice number 3. Never stop learning. Also, when it comes to healing, never stop learning about healing. Learn more about yourself. Learn more about life. Learn more about different kind of personalities and personality characters, psychology. Or also, if you're passionate about something, never stop learning. Learning is great. Learning is so great. And if you keep learning, I think it also keeps you super young and it keeps you super motivated. If you always have some sort of goal in front of you, doesn't it feel so exciting waking up every single day and working towards this goal? Yes, it does. Even though it feels scary and even though you don't know how to get there, but you can learn it. You can learn anything in life. And sometimes it takes long, yes, but that's okay. Learning and growing constantly, it's life. And yes, there are goals. Yes, you accomplish a goal, but then you have another goal, and then you have another goal. There is no clear end line, which somehow sounds scary, but I also think it's very cool, because the end line to me means, then my life is done, then my life is over. So I want to keep learning. I always want to set new goals. I always want to keep growing. That to me keeps me young, and that to me keeps me really excited. If you don't know where to start, especially when it comes to learn more about yourself, I think one of the greatest things that you could do is writing and journaling And it can come in many different ways, like also different kind of journaling formats work for different kind of people. What works really great for me is on one day, like on some days, grabbing just an empty piece of paper and a pen and just writing everything out. Writing is my next advice for you. Like, don't underestimate the power of writing. Write down everything that's been going on your mind. And for some people that's really hard. Like a lot of you texted me as well on Instagram saying, hey Anna, like I'm really trying to journal, I'm really trying to write thoughts down on paper, but it's really hard because I don't know what to write. I get that, I understand that, but there are some journals, as an example, that can help you. I have this one journal with a lot of questions that are really deep. And yeah, there was this one journal where there were a lot of questions about my childhood, about my relationships, about my parents. And it takes ages to fill out these questions. And I'm not even halfway through yet, even though I spent so many hours on it. But it's really deep. And I've learned so much about myself just by writing out those things. And I get it. Writing isn't for everyone. I think there are also other ways of journaling. As an example, if you want to have a record of it, like if you want to save it somewhere, then a great way is to grab your phone and just start like a voice memo and say all the thoughts out loud. Like go out for a walk and speak into your phone. No one cares. You can do that. Or if you don't want to save it somewhere, what you can do is pretend to be on a phone call. Pretend to be on a phone call, talking to someone, and say out everything that you want to say out. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I pretend to be in a phone call and I'm just sharing thoughts with no one. But to me, it's really important to just think about it and say it out loud. My next advice for you, and it shouldn't have been, I should have talked about it maybe a bit earlier, but sometimes we carry so much pain and sometimes it's just impossible to get out of this alone. I want to encourage every single one of you to seek out for help and seek out for professional help. You know, when I grew up, like my parents, still to that day, I think for my parents, it's really weird when I tell them that I go to therapy, that I talk to a therapist sometimes, because they didn't grow up like this. For them, it was really weird, and only crazy people would go to a therapist and talk to someone in therapy. But these days, I think people are way more open about it. Also, there are so many podcasts giving the advice to go to therapy, or they already share a lot of therapy tips and therapy advice. I'm not a therapist myself, and also I want to mention that here because if you struggle with something, I can only help you to a certain extent, and I can only inspire you. I think this is the right word. But maybe you need a little bit more help. You need professional help. And I want to encourage you to just go to a therapist. Talk to a therapist. There is nothing wrong with it. I think it's actually really cool. I think it's really great if you work on yourself. And if you also understand and accept that there is something going on inside of you that you have to work on, I think there's nothing to feel ashamed of. I think it's great and it's amazing, and it shows a lot of strength that you're willing to work on it. My next advice for you, like coming from a point of like going to the therapist, which is already talking to the right people or surrounding yourself with the right people, but the next advice is, yes, it's surround yourself with the right people. The environment you're in is so important. And if you are an adult and if you almost have the choice, like who do you want to surround yourself with, please choose the right people. And I know sometimes that's really hard because sometimes we also have maybe a circle around us which we think we can't leave, but we really have that feeling of like, okay, I have to distance myself from those kind of people. Do it. Because there are people out there that truly love you and that support you. And especially if you go through something, especially if you have something where you feel like I have to heal, but I don't have anyone, I don't have support, I don't know where to go, I don't know who I should talk to. Like, trust me, there are people out there who you can talk to. And I can just share from my own experience right now. I often also thought that I don't have anyone, I can't talk to anyone because I don't know how to start, I don't know what to say. So I was just scared. I had my people, but I was scared to talk to them. But they would always have been there for me. And if the moment is right, then you can always share your thoughts with those people. Like my mom, I can share anything with her. Sometimes I was just too scared and too afraid. Or friends, I might have been scared that, yeah, they judge me or that they think something weird of me or something bad of me. But they don't. So many of them were so encouraging and so supportive. And I think you have those people within your circle as well. And if you don't, then it's time to level up your circle, to upgrade your circle, to a circle that's empowering and that's supportive and that's a circle that really truly loves you. I want to point out the support of like an online base or like online people, because I'm talking very negative sometimes about the internet, about social media, about how bad scrolling is for us and how bad social media is for us. But social media can also be really great. It can give you a support system. It can give you a community. Like if you are in the right online community, it can be so great and it can help you. It can help you on your journey to be healthier, happier, and more healed. So I think also online, there's a lot of opportunity for you to find the right people and to feel like you have this safe space where you can heal and grow. My last tip today in this video, or if you're just listening, then listen now. The last tip is to turn your pain into power. And this advice can mean many different things. To me, it means, it comes back to the choices. I could still suffer and be very mad and angry to everyone who had been involved in what happened to me. I could be so angry. I could judge this guy, but I don't. We both had been really young and we both had been really stupid. So I don't. This happened to me. But you know what I do? Instead of like suffering with this pain, I'm going to turn this pain into power. And the way I do it is by, number one, sharing it with you all, like speaking up and not feeling ashamed anymore. It feels very powerful. And the second step to me is building something out of it, doing something creative, something where I can help people who experience the exact same. I want to build something and I'm going to do it. I'm going to use this and I'm going to turn it into something really powerful. Trust me. I'm going to do that. And doing this, it feels so good. And suddenly I have like this really optimistic thought again. And I'm not like, oh no, this happened to me. Everything is so bad. The world is so bad. This is not at all my fault. I'm like, wow, this world is amazing and beautiful. And I had to go through this obstacle to be here right now, to be where I am today. So I'm okay with this. But I don't let anything that happened to me in the past, or I don't know, maybe there are other things that will happen to me. Nothing can stop me because I will always turn this pain into power. And I want you to do the exact same. I hope everything that I was saying empowered you today. I hope it made you feel heard and seen. And I hope it gave you some perspective. I want you to know that you can heal. I want you to know that you also deserve to live a healthy, happy, and strong life. I need more women to be strong, supporting each other. I really need that, and I hope you're a part of it. Thank you so much again for listening, for watching. Thank you so much, and I hope to talk to you soon. Thank you.